Now, there's nothing stopping y'all. Y'all have quarterly sales meetings. I don't know companies that do quarterly sales meetings of this capacity. I just don't, okay? That's great that you have quarterly sales meetings. You have weekly calls. Weekly calls are an opportunity. It's a micro opportunity to start talking skill stuff as well, right? But that's all company driven. That's fantastic. If y'all aren't spending some of your own personal time to learn something skill, to continue to increase the skill, grow the skill. Why do I know there's that many Hague articles? Do you think that the company came to me and said, John, you need to read these Hague articles, it'll change how you talk to adjusters? No. I just heard Hague thrown around enough that I landed on a Hague website one day, and then I went to the articles section, and I found some of the dumbest stuff I've ever read in my life.
Yes.
But that was my own time, my own effort, my own energy, just like you said it. Sometimes you scroll through that Facebook group at night, you'll just be panning through, just reading posts. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's, wow, that's great, right? That's the kind of stuff that if your, my goal was this. If my company was going to give this much effort into putting skill into me, I was going to match that effort. I never wanted the company to be putting more effort into bringing skill to me than I was willing to put in myself. That's a disservice to the company. That's a disservice to myself. I can fast track that. Skill versus will is something you have to realize. You're here somewhere on this scale, but you have a choice where you want to be on this scale. The company's made a choice to give you as much as they can to get you across this skill line. You have to make a choice on your own. What do you do to differentiate yourself, better yourself, and increase your skill? Now, this backfired for the company I work for because they lost a $3 million salesperson because I became highly skilled at multiple things. It definitely helped my life, but it backfired for the company I was working for. Now, I knew I was short-lived when I started it. They kind of knew to a certain extent. But this is where you have to visualize this. You have to think of this. The more you increase your skill, it is going to pay off long run. That's repetition after repetition after repetition. It's building the system that then builds the repetition that then builds the skill. I promise you that's how it works. Do you have a question, or was that a... Anything else before we break for lunch, y'all? Is there any more nuggets that y'all guys pulled from all this? I know some of y'all had to pop in and out. It's all recorded for them to go back and replay, right? Okay. Yeah, make sure, look, it's your responsibility to go back and watch these sections that you had to go back out and miss, okay? It's not a lot that you missed.
I was going to say, if you guys find tools, things out there that's going to make you improve, show the team, let Steven and I know, and, we'll implement those things. So.
Hang on, I'll show you one real quick. It's a really good point. We got 5 minutes for lunch. Give me a second here. I know everybody's ready to stretch their legs and all. This will be quick, if I can find it. All right, so we're going to talk about this one after lunch for sure. But I'm going to show you some small things. And again, Leo, that's a great point. Like, y'all should be communicating a team. What has made my file better? What has helped me win more? I want you to look at the cover photo as soon as you open this file. Page 1, the cover photo. I struggled trying to articulate to adjusters what hail damage looked like on textured metals. You chalk a textured metal, sometimes it's not always easy to see what the hail damage looks like. So I realized from my good buddy Matt that if I took a flat surface and shined a flashlight under it, you could see where the dent was. That was Matt's idea. Well, I realized I couldn't do that in the daylight because you couldn't see the flashlight in the daylight. So I said there's got to be a better way to do this. So I went on Amazon and I bought a red flashlight and a green flashlight hoping I could see the color underneath it in daylight. And sure enough, I found a solution to the problem. Now, if you look at that photo, you can see the round dent and how big it is where the light's shining through under that NTS hail card. Small little things like that. You're talking about a $10 flashlight I bought on Amazon. So I carry a red flashlight, a green flashlight, and a standard flashlight in my tool belt at all times. Photo number 4. That's a manual caliper. Okay, that's literally, I just bought that on Amazon. It's like $10. Super simple, right? These are the kind of things that, again, you find little tools that help you show the size and scale of things. Moisture gauge. Does anybody carry a moisture gauge? I carry a 2-prong moisture gauge at all times. When you go out to a roof that has wind damage and the shingles are actually flipped up, blown back, there's 2 layers, there's decking exposed, there's felt exposed, stick your moisture gauge down in that and see if there's water there. Can't trap moisture on a roof. It's literally, you cannot trap moisture on a roof. Sometimes that gets me a wider repair area with a $15 moisture gauge. Just stick the prongs in there and see how wet it is. If you're going out right after the storm, it's going to be saturated, it's going to be soaked. Now that justifies what? The need to tarp, right? There's water. I mean, this is damp under there, okay? So that's another tool. Let me see. I hope everybody has photo number 12. That's me using the Hague gauge. But instead of using it on the shingles, I'm using it as a flat surface and I'm shining the flashlight. Y'all, that's almost a 2-inch dent on that garage door, which is hard to see a dent on a textured surface, okay? I'll show you after, but go to photo number 21. That's not even a tool. I hope everybody that has a phone, if you have an iPhone 13, 14, or 15, or if you have a Galaxy, do you guys have 3 lenses on your phones? Yeah. All right, if you have a 13, 14, or 15, you should be able to turn your phone settings to turn on the macro lens. Photo 21, that's a macro lens on the phone. This is all this is. That's me. I take my wallet. I'm not a wealthy man. This is all I got. I take my wallet, I put it on the roof, and when it holds still, it can focus. So it's that far from the roof, y'all. And the macro lens kicks on, and that's it. The macro lens hyperfocus. Do you see all the breaks in the fibers in that? We're not even talking a fancy tool, y'all. That's talking about me using my phone to my best. I've never met an adjuster or an engineer or an inspector who doesn't own a phone, so they can't even bullshit me and be like, well, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know what tool that is. I'm like, dude, it's a phone. We can hyper zoom and show you fractures in the shingles. After lunch, I'm going to show you photos 22 and 23 in a much better file, where I'm actually taking that little tool. That's a $30 tool from Amazon. This thing right here is 30 bucks. The amount of claims this is won for me because I can show fractures and show hail damage. I beat engineers with this thing. They can't ignore evidence, and I can show the actual fractures in there. So again, it's a great point. If you got a tool, a gadget, a strategy, a system, a photo, something like that that works, y'all should be sharing it as a team, okay? When you win, that's awesome. The homeowner wins. But then convert that win into a multitude of wins for the team, because look, the team wins, this thing's going to blow up. Y'all are going to dominate the entire North Carolina market, and then whatever market you guys want to go to next. But help blow this thing up, man. Help blow this thing up. That's all in there. I got a few other tools in another file we'll look at. So let's do this. Is lunch actually ready? Do we know? Do they have it set out?
So you would send that whole thing, like after the inspection, would you send it to the adjuster then, like super detailed out like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% I would. Okay? 100% I would. Lunch is ready? Hang on. Before you break for lunch. Before you break for lunch. Take a picture of this slide. At some point at lunch, I want you to chew on these scenarios because I'm gonna ask you what you would do in these scenarios. I just want to get the juices flowing right after lunch, okay? I want to get the juices flowing. We're going to talk about these 2 scenarios. I don't expect you to use your whole lunch talking about them, but Stephen, what's our lunch time frame? Are you going to do an hour?
No. At least an hour, probably an hour.
Okay, guys. Here's the deal. We're done at 4 today. But it's plenty of time for us to be done. Go get to the after party. I'm going to hang out with y'all, okay? I'm going to go lose so you guys can say that you beat John Senac in a race, okay? You can brag about it later, but I'm going to go hang out with y'all. So that means from 1 to 2, you guys get lunch, but 2 o'clock, it's butts and seats, and we're going to do 2 hours of hyper-focused finish of the day, all right? So do not be late getting back in this room. Go enjoy your lunch. Is there anything else you want to say before we break?
And 5 minutes prior to go.
Yeah, 5 minutes prior to. That's good. I'll eat lunch with y'all. We'll hang out. We'll have some fun. I know.
Very informational.
Oh, I know you're saying, oh man, you finally got to stand up.
Yeah, we're going to overturn a lot of claims this year.
Well, you know, if you set them right upright, you win more in the beginning, and then she can overturn more on the back end, and life's a lot easier. So, after lunch, we're really going to pick at inspections. So,
Situation number 2, I literally just did that.
yeah, that's what you were telling me about, basically, right?
Yeah.
Joshua Spawn.
Josh.
Yeah, so I'm actually fairly new to the industry itself.
Good. It's a great industry to be a part of.
I want to know something. So this is where you started.
Yep, I'm sorry.
You got that here, right?
No, I moved high skill, high will, high skill.
I'll
Yep.
get there. So this is where I'm at. I've got the high wheel, got the low skill, but I want to get here.
So repetitions in sales. So you need repetitions in sales because that's the only way you're going to increase that skill. You got to bang more doors, you got to talk to more homeowners, you got to record your pitch, you got to record your skill set, you got to record all that, and you got to practice it over and over again. Then I would go watch videos from guys like Deshaun. You guys have had Deshaun come in here. I don't know if you were with the company when Deshaun come in, but Roof Hustler. Go watch videos from the Roof Hustler, follow his pages. He's got very motivational things. I would also watch videos from guys like Adam Bensman, which is the roof strategist, okay? Here, let me see, I'm gonna stick them together and fold them up. Adam Bensman, the roof strategist, okay? The roof strategist has tons of YouTube videos. He's very sharp, and those are all sales videos. You gotta watch my stuff, because mine's gonna be more on claims, winning claims, things like that. But mine's all on Facebook, so if you're not on Facebook, you may need to get a Facebook account just to watch that shit. My Facebook group is full of information.
So when you started out, you didn't imagine yourself being one of the top dogs in the industry, did you?
No, I watched those guys thinking, looking at those people as icons, and now we're friends, and it's just kind of like crazy to think about, like these people that I idolize, that I watch their videos, that like Alina. I wouldn't expect you to watch Alina's stuff. She's an Xactimate master, but I had to learn Xactimate on her, so I watched all of her videos. Well, now we're friends. I texted her the other night. I was like,